Hey, what's up everyone? Orion here, and I'm back with more Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Career Mode, picking up right where we left off. So far, the Gamer Ability Airlines has had 2 successful flights. Now, whether you actually classify those flights as successful depends on what your categories are. Now, I consider it successful when we have a takeoff and a landing and we do not crash the plane and everybody makes it there safely. So that is what I deem a successful flight. So yes, we are 2 for 2 right now. Now, the last episode, if you missed it, make sure you watch it. It was very entertaining. And, you know, I don't think I'll ever go back or do business with the Key West Flight School. It wasn't the flight school. What were they? They were the flight club, right? The Key West Flight Club. Their flight coordinator, David Lord, just had nothing set up on the runway. It was a mess out there. Our plane was parked backwards. Engineers kept getting in the way. A car came down the runway, and you have to go down the runway and turn around with no space for a U-turn. So we went off onto the beach and back around. Needless to say, we will not be flying from the Key West Flying Club anymore. But I'm glad that Paul and Jordan, grandfather and grandson, had a great first flight. It was a rough landing, but the good news about first flights, they had no clue that was a bumpy landing. That was their first flight. They don't know. We almost crashed on the landing, but hey, we're still here. The Gamer Ability Airlines continues. No crash landings yet, and we're about to learn again. In today's episode, you're going to see the entire commercial pilot license school along with the exam. So likely what we're going to do, we're going to go through the trim management, departure, dead reckoning, whatever that means, landmark navigation, arrival, and then we probably will skip past the first solo navigation because at that point, I think we're ready to go straight into the exam. Remember I said that because this may go really bad. But thank you all for all the continued support on this series. This series has been fantastic. If you all get some enjoyment on the video, be sure to drop a like before you go. It really helps. Subscribe for more, and I have a full playlist down in the description below. That's the best place to look for more episodes. Now, I believe our flights will start being a lot longer when we get our commercial pilot license, and we should start getting more experience. At least that's what I'm assuming. Okay, so tachometer. Vertical speed indicator, this is noob stuff. We learned this in flight school from Captain Jess Molina, who's going to be our instructor today. Here we go. Trim management training. How complicated can it be? Okay, here we go. Commercial pilot license training. Starts with trim management. I guess we're going to learn what that means. Wonder who's going to be our instructor.
In this lesson, let's take a look at the relationship between attitudes and
She's
power
back.
settings.
That's Captain
Attitude
Jess.
plus power equals performance. We're currently at 5,500 feet in a cruise attitude. The aircraft's nose is positioned under the horizon, and cruise power is at 2,300 RPM.
I thought we sent Captain Jess
Try to
Molina
reduce
into
power
retirement.
to 2,000 RPM while maintaining 5,500 feet.
Okay, decrease RPM to 2,000 and maintain altitude of 550 feet, 5,500 feet. So let's just decrease it to like 65 maybe should be enough.
Go ahead, lower your RPM to 2,000 while maintaining 5,500 feet.
Oh, she's back all right. She's back. I thought she
Great.
retired after we flipped upside down in our first
You probably noticed,
training, but
to maintain altitude, you need to pitch the nose up.
clearly.
You could just keep pulling on the yoke to hold steady, but that's not really a precise means of control. Probably better to adjust your trim wheel until you don't need to push or pull on the yoke. Drag the trim down when you need to set the nose up. Drag it up to set the nose down.
Aha. So that's
Try adding
how...
trim to keep us at 5,500 feet without increasing throttle.
Okay. So add trim to stop pulling on yoke. Use RB and down on the right stick. Maintain 550. Okay. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Just down.
Try it out. Trim the aircraft to maintain 5,500 feet.
Okay, so RB and up moves it down. RB, it seems to. And RB, oh, you can see trim at the bottom. Okay.
Try it out. Trim the aircraft to maintain 5,500 feet.
Captain Jess, I'm trying. So down to increase trim, like to pull the plane up. So RB and down on the right stick.
Try it out. Trim the aircraft to maintain 5,500 feet.
I'm surely trying. I mean, maybe a trim of 20 or more than that.
That's good.
Oh, thank you. Even though it doesn't look like we're
You're
at...
not high enough.
I knew she's gonna say that. I saw that one coming. I feel like we gotta increase the speed, right? I know she said not to, but I just don't feel like we're going fast enough. I got the need for
You're
speed.
not high enough.
Oh, she's back, all right. You know, once we start getting our commercial license, we're gonna have to go further. So we're gonna have
You're
a
not
lot
high enough.
longer flights. I am trying, Jess. So bad.
Increase power to 2,300 RPM
Oh, we
while
did it.
maintaining 5,500 feet.
Okay.
Get us back to a cruise attitude.
Let's go back like to 85. Let's
That's good.
zoom.
Now, adjust the trim.
So now we got to go down on the trim big time. We're way up there. So RB and
You've
up.
left the training airspace. You need to go back.
What? What do you mean we left the training airspace? It looks
That's
like...
good. You did well, but you can do better.
Yeah, she's back all right. There it is.
The way I was taught, when you adjust the trim, you make course changes at first to remove pressure on the yoke. Then small adjustments to find the perfect setting to keep your desired attitude. If you feel your pitch slipping and need to get back to the proper attitude, don't worry. Just pull on the yoke, then dial in the right trim.
Yeah, I actually
That's
did
the
that
key
there.
to straight and level flight.
I'm not really a level flyer though, Jess. I like to keep it exciting. I like to move around a lot. You know, maybe I do need to be a more level flyer, but that was a very useful training because that's going to be very useful. That would have helped us in the other flights. They weren't as long. I guess we didn't really need to worry about it too much. We could just use the yoke ourselves. I'm very interested in the altitude hold button on our aircraft as well that I found in the last episode. We found that, I found it when I was looking around to try to hit ground, to call ground control. So yeah, we got a B. That's actually really good. That was a really good training. On to the next one. Departure. Oh, we can do that. Is that just like taking off? For an expert at, I wouldn't say expert in anything, but you know, we can fly a plane. It's debatable. Okay, here we are. Departure training here with Captain Jess Molina. I'm ready.
Today we are going to leave our familiar airport of Sedona and venture south to reach Flagstaff Airport. To guide us, we will rely on the navlog. It references the different legs to complete to reach our final destination. Our first goal is to fly over the runway center at 6,500 feet with a heading of 42 degrees. By doing so, we will be perfectly set up to engage with the first leg of the navlog. After takeoff, we will continue crosswind as if we were following the standard traffic pattern. However, we won't turn downwind. Instead, we will continue climbing to 6,500 feet before turning on course toward the runway center. Okay, you can take off whenever you are ready.
Did you all get all that? I mean, that Captain Jess is back, isn't she? That was a whole lot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I get it. We just fly the plane forward and yeah. Okay. Well, Captain Jess, we had 2 successful flights since your last training program. One with David, and he said it was like riding a roller coaster. One of the best compliments you can get as a pilot. And then we took Paul and his grandson his grandson Jordan on their first flight in the Key West. And Jess, you would have been so upset at that airport. You've never seen anything like it, Jess. I'm telling you, that Key West Flight Club don't have anything to do with them.
Your target altitude is 6,500 feet.
Okay.
Maintain 75 knots.
75
That's 500
knots.
feet above the traffic pattern, as we don't want to interfere with incoming aircraft.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're up to 75 knots. We're good now. Now we can start to climb. Trying to get to 5. It says maintain 75 knots, reach the end of the upwind leg, and reach 5,700 feet. We're not technically maintaining 75 knots, but you can't do it all. We still have 1.9 nautical miles there. That is nautical miles, right? I believe that's what Captain Jess called it in flight school, but I'm also not one you ask any type of flying question to, clearly. You all watched my first 2 flights, and you watched flight school, and you watched my flight exam. But I feel like we're ready for this training. You know, like I said in the last episode at the beginning, I feel like we're just a few training lessons away from really figuring out how to control the plane in the air. I just feel like I don't have control of the plane, especially when I go to landing. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but...
Turn left so you stay in the vicinity of the airport.
Okay. We're just doing the typical traffic pattern, and it's from the way she made it sound, we are turning back over top the runway.
Maintain 75 knots.
Oh, why are we going so fast? Wait, we need to be climbing altitude. What am I doing? I don't know. Wait, and then where do we go now? Back. Okay, we go back to the runway, right? She said we were crossing over the top. Is it
Maintain
that?
75 knots.
Yeah. So we're flying back over top the runway. We're trying to get to it says maintain 75 knots and get to
75 knots.
Try and get to 6,500 feet. So she wants us to climb, and we're not climbing quick enough. So if we're climbing at the right angle, we're probably going to be going 75 knots, right? But that would probably be full throttle. So is she saying that we're flying back? So we're getting high enough to avoid other traffic, right? So that's why we're flying to 6,500 to avoid other planes. And we're flying back to the airport
knots.
so that we know where we're going? Because we can orient ourselves? So why else? That would have to be the... I bet that's what it is. Got to reach 6,500 though. We're close. Really close. Just such a fun game to play,
you
you
need to do this
know?
more quickly. To ensure accurate navigation,
Yep.
you want an accurate starting point. And what's more accurate than the runway you just departed from?
Okay, I get
Go
it.
ahead and position your plane above the airport.
So you're using the airport to navigate. So now when we get over the airport, we know that we can turn to a heading of 42, and it's going to be the most accurate information on where we're going to go, right? Oh, we're flying way too high.
Nice.
Thank you, Jess.
That's it for navigation departure. Well done.
If I heard that correctly, she did not say you'll do better next time. That might be the best compliment Captain Jess can give. Now, here's the thing. When you don't have to land, it is so nice. Like, look at that. Takeoff 98, believe it or not. For whatever reason, the plane felt smooth right there. I don't know if there was no wind, but that was the smoothest takeoff. It felt natural. I felt in full control, and I just felt in a rhythm there. It's nice when you don't have to land. When I had this stretch of the stress of landing, this is Dead Reckoning. What is Dead Reckoning? This session is all about the basics of Dead Reckoning. A popular navigation method relying on estimating the position of an aircraft based on its previous position, direction, and speed. Learn more about this method while en route to Munds Park Golf Course. If you watch my content on the main channel, Gamerability, you know I like a lot of golf. We're flying over a golf course. Perfect here. Dead Reckoning sounds dangerous. Okay, here we go. It looks like we're starting in the air, and that's what I love. Just don't make us land.
We're currently at 6,500 feet, about 30 seconds flight time to Sedona Airport. As we make our way toward the runway center, let's talk more about navigation. When you need to set and maintain a heading, you'll want to rely on your heading indicator. Compasses are prone to errors, especially during turns or while accelerating or decelerating. Okay, we're in position over the runway center. Next step is to validate the time. That's a fancy way of saying start your stopwatch.
Oh. Really?
On the nav log, you can see our next waypoint, Munds Park, is at a 42-degree heading, about 5 minutes away. That means we need to be on a 42-degree heading. Check your heading indicator and make your turn. Good. Maintain a 42-degree heading.
Okay, so you start the timer to know we already have our flight waypoint.
As you approach Munds Park, the terrain level rises. To maintain a safe altitude, we'd better climb to 8,000 feet. Make sure you keep the same heading.
Did she just say 8,000 feet?
Maintain full power during your climb.
Yeah, I'd say. $8,000 feet? Let's increase our trim. So we can look at our EFT over there to see our time. 51 seconds. We're 5 minutes out from the golf course. And we know we have to go to a heading of 42. You can see that at the top left of the screen there. And it says climb to 8,000 feet, maintaining that 42-degree heading. I mean, you can also see it right there on the screen, right above the yoke. So I have my trim set to 20. You can see that at the bottom right. I don't know if there's a way to see your trim on the actual heads-up display. What's it called? I should know the name of it. She taught me it in flight school, but I mean, she said a lot, to be fair.
Navigation is basically flying a given heading for a given amount of time. Sometimes you deviate.
No, I don't deviate.
If you track the time flown from your last known position, you'll always have at least a range for your current position.
I get it. Okay, so basically we know that the heading will read, I guess it says 3 minutes though, when we're over the golf course, right? It says 3 minutes. I thought she said 5 minutes, but we're still trying to climb to 8,000. Let's take a look here. What do we got? Where are we? Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. We got to get a screenshot there, right? That is beautiful. So it's easier to take a screenshot here than the photo mode, because the photo mode on Xbox, like, it puts the pictures in your, like, profile on this game, but it doesn't allow you to look at them full screen. So I'm going to pause the video, get a good screenshot here, and we're going to make sure we get to where we're going and not crash the plane. I thought this was a beautiful screenshot here. This game is beautiful. I just look at this view. Absolutely insane. Okay, let's resume the flight. Oh, we got off course taking a picture. Sorry, Captain Jess. We still got to get up to 7,008, or not 7,800, 8,000. The only problem with this view, I have a hard time like telling how much I'm climbing. So when I'm climbing, I like to be in this view. Wow, we are getting all over the place right now. Is that some wind or maybe some turbulence, you know? Okay, so now we should be able to adjust our trim and try to get it to where we don't have to move the yoke. What happens if we hit hold altitude button?
Okay, now get back to cruise
trim,
altitude.
we got it.
Let the speed increase, then set cruise power at 2,300 RPM.
focus. That's going to probably be like 86. I feel like our trim set way too much, maybe. Yeah, I think our trim is pushing us up, so we need to lower it. It's at 20 right now. We're getting there, but we need to drop it a little bit more. So I can make minor corrections too. Now that might be a bit too much.
Do you see the green patch with a lake on its right? This is Munns Park Golf Club. We're almost there.
I see it.
Let's proceed over it and check if the stopwatch matches the Navlog estimation.
Well, what happens when we hit the hold altitude button?
We all know speed can increase or decrease depending on the wind. That's why at your next waypoint you'll want to compare your estimated time and route with the actual time flown.
I bet you have to have
Validate your
autopilot
estimate
on.
and your progress.
Oh, what did she say? Oh. 4 minutes and 3, so we got there a little bit longer. It's taking us longer, so maybe I'm flying slow. I don't really feel like I am, but I can see the golf course though. Anybody want to get out of the plane and go play golf? I don't technically have my skydiving license, but we don't have to tell Captain Jess. Even though she is in the plane. So I'm not using the trim right now. I'm just freestyling right now. And look, we're driving over an interstate. Look at that.
Well
This game
done.
is so cool.
But there's room for improvement. Navigation to Munns Park is in the books.
We knew that was coming. There's room for improvement. Is it because I took so long to climb to 8,000, or is it because I missed my mark by a minute? There's something that she didn't like, but she did tell us it'd take us 5 minutes to get there, so what did we get? A B. Look, manage power accurately 100%. That is key. Maintain requested altitudes. That's fair. 26. It's hard to get up there as quick as she wants us to. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Probably a lot, right? By the end of this career mode, I'm going to learn how to be a pilot. I'm going to go out to flight school in real life. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. Landmark navigation. Using landmarks and distinctive geographical features is a great way of orienting yourself while flying VFR. Airports, roads, and rivers are commonly used to confirm one's position while en route in a navigation. We'll start this tutorial where we left off, above Munns Park Golf Course. I bet we're going to follow the interstate. Wasn't this like one of the tutorials in Microsoft Flight Sim, the last game? I want to say they didn't have a career mode in that game, but I want to say that there was a training that was over a golf course and you followed the interstate, maybe? So that might be what we're doing. That would be navigating based on landmarks, right? So it would make sense.
All right, we're currently at 8,000 feet, approximately 30 seconds out from Munns Park Golf Club. While we fly over it, let's talk about landmark navigation.
There's the interstate.
One of the easier methods of navigation involves following identifiable landmarks, like highways. And it just so happens we have one below us. Do you see the highway on your left?
Yeah, surprisingly I do, Captain Jess.
That highway leads all the way to Flagstaff.
Let's take it.
Let's follow it, and we should reach Flagstaff Airport in 6 to 7 minutes. To make sure we don't miss it, reset your stopwatch here and start again.
So this is where I think you need to hit autopilot. And that's when I need to hit the cursor mode and hit start. And why is autopilot taking me... What? Autopilot? Who's autopiloting this plane? Why are we going... Well, sorry, Captain Jess. So, am I missing something on time? How does 4... She said 7 minutes. And that says...
Airport's altitude is around 7,000 feet. Our Unlike in Sedona, the traffic pattern altitude there is standard. This means its altitude is 1,000 feet above the airport, which works out to 8,000 feet. We need to fly over the airport before entering the traffic pattern. Since we don't want to interfere with other aircraft already in the traffic pattern, let's fly at least 500 feet above pattern altitude. So, let's climb to 8,500 feet on the way.
I knew that was coming. Now, Jess,
Keep it at full power while you're climbing.
are you gonna have me land the plane? Please tell me no. Where was that autopilot taking us? You'd think it would take you towards your heading, but... Some of these long flights we're gonna do later on in this career, although they're probably gonna be a bit boring for some of you all,
Maintain 8,500 feet until we reach the airport.
they'll give us a lot of experience. I feel like I'm getting better at controlling the yoke. And I'm also using trim a
Set
little bit
RPM
too.
at 2,300.
Okay, so 2,300, we need to back off probably to like 85 throttle, 83, something like that. Look, I'm learning, everybody. Where's that interstate? Oh, we're right over it. Perfect. I'm learning stuff today. And I can just make small adjustments. Make sure we stay at 8,500. On the yoke, we have our trim, I believe, set perfect. Now, one thing I'm confused about a lot, but she said it takes us 7 minutes to get there. That says 4 minutes and 32 seconds to get there. So does she mean 7 minutes to landing? Or is she saying 7 minutes to actually get there? You all know? Is there something I don't know about minutes and seconds? That 432 equals 7 in flight math? Is there a different math they use for pilots? Let's decrease the trail. We're going way up. Why are we going up so much? Must have caught some wind or something. Okay, the trim's at 16. Let's see if that moves us in the right direction. So we're moving back up. I want to find the perfect trim. It's not it. You think they frowned upon using autopilot? I just kind of want to see. Of course, we're going to use autopilot in our long flights, but autopilot and hold altitude. I think we might have found the right trim at 16. Because look, then it drops to 848, pops up to 85, and it should start going back down here soon. We found it. We found the perfect trim. We've made it for a pilot. Is she gonna make us land? You know she will. Yeah, the reason we're not gonna do that full solo flight, because you know it's gonna be this exact thing all over again by ourselves, and we don't need to do that. We just need to go straight into the exam. Once we're done with all the trainings. Yeah, we found the perfect trim. Look at that. Just a gorgeous video game. To those that don't know, it's like a full recreation of the entire world. Like, you can fly anywhere. Yeah, we found the perfect trim. That's the first time I've done that. We did just learn trim, so it's not like I've been doing it a long time, but that's a plus. And we're getting close. You can see on the GPS there to the right. I see the airport, I think. You all see that? I believe that's the airport. We're about to drive over some water. So it is. It's right off the interstate there to the right. Beautiful.
There it is, is Flagstaff Airport on the right side of the highway. Excellent landmark navigation.
Thank you. Now let's land this plane, Jess. No, it's not. Yes, we don't have to land it. You know that'll be the next step. It'll be like following the traffic pattern from where we were, right? That is the best we've done so far. Maintain requested attitudes at 50%. I feel like we dominated on that. But reach Flagstaff Airport, that's simple. Manage power accurately, though, I feel like it's really good. That's been a big improvement, and I'm glad that Captain Jess Molina has been making sure that we're following those lessons, because it's key, because I was going way too fast in the earlier episodes. Clearly. Remember David said it felt like he was riding a roller coaster? The final part of any navigation flight is arriving at your destination. Oh no. Final lesson before the solo flight. We're not fighting, right? Well, it does feel like I'm fighting the plane sometimes. When we're landing, when the wind is blowing, or I call it the wind, I don't know what's happening, but the plane just swivels back and forth. Maybe that's my hands being nervous. It's like I'm fighting the plane. I have, like, that last landing at Key West, we were like left and back right. I thought we were gonna do a sideways landing, and somehow we were able to recover, but it's like it is a fight at that point. So let's land. Here we go. And then we got our exam next. This is gonna be a one and done exam. There's gonna be no retries. We're gonna dominate that exam. Can we get Captain Jess Molina in there? I feel like we'd fly so much better with Jess.
Flagstaff Airport is right in front of us, and we're currently at 8,500 feet. That's 500 feet above the standard traffic pattern. It's a good altitude to avoid interfering with aircraft already in the pattern. Proceed above the terrain, making sure you maintain our current altitude.
So we know that 8,000 is the actual traffic pattern. I did not know that. That is really good to know. I did not know that. So to maintain this, I believe we just got to put our trim up at 16, right? I don't know if it's always the same. About to find out. Oh, we're at 18. Way too much. There's 17, we're dropping back down, so maybe I didn't learn anything. Well, it all depends on the speed, right? It is so tough to keep the plane in the right attitude. So we're flying over the runway center, and then we're going to enter the traffic pattern. But isn't the traffic pattern, don't we have to follow the runway? Or are we going to make up our own?
To land on runway 21, coming from the right to the left. We'll be following a left-hand traffic pattern, as we did in Sedona.
Okay.
Ready? Reduce speed to 80 knots and start a turn to the left toward a 120-degree heading.
Oh, so we're entering, I see what we're doing. We're entering like the halfway through the traffic pattern, so we better slow down.
As we pass over the runway again, start descending to 8,000 feet, still maintaining 80 knots. You'll enter the pattern in the middle of the downwind leg for runway 21.
How in the world am I going to maintain 80 knots? Are we going to increase throttle? Oh, decrease throttle to nothing? And crash? Like...
We've got clearance to enter the downwind leg and land on runway 21. Keep your attitude, then follow the standard pattern.
Yeah, I remember the standard pattern.
Extend 10 degrees of flaps.
Okay.
Complete the traffic pattern until landing, as you learned previously.
Okay, 80 knots. I thought we were supposed to go down to like 70, so I'm going way too slow. This is a good start to this traffic pattern. Imagine being at traffic control there and just watching this young pilot flying through the air and like, what is happening? Imagine being the other planes. You'd be terrified. Why are we going? Just be going 80 knots. Well, I think we can throw away maintain airspeed, right? Is that we didn't do that? And now we need to kick down. We got to kick down. We got to turn left. I remember this, and it's gonna come at you fast. Yep, set speed to 65. This is it. This is when we get serious. Drop that throttle down. Get real serious. Captain Jess has already had one crash. She said that we were the only student to ever crash in flight school, so it's kind of embarrassing. Where's the, okay, that's where we're landing, over those trees. Trying to get to 65 knots, game. I'm trying my hardest. To this final turn, get to 65. I am trying. We got to 65 knots. Why are we dropping? Good pilot always remains calm. No matter the odds. 20-degree flaps, I remember. We're flying awfully low. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. Yep, we're just landing a bit shorter. well, that's a failure of power control. Clearly cut the power a little bit too quickly, and I cannot believe we made it over those trees, but we did. We made it over. Captain Jess was holding her breath.
But something tells me you can do even better.
You don't say, Captain. Poor Captain Jess. Like, she has to hate every time on her schedule she sees Ryan coming her way. It's just like, and she didn't yell at us there, but we barely cleared those trees. 71%. Thank you. I'm telling you, she just doesn't want us to come back. Now, granted, it was a smooth landing. We just started on the grass. Nobody ever told us you have to land on the runway first. Sometimes you got to keep it interesting. You know, land on the grass a little bit. It'll slow you down faster, as you saw. We barely made it over those trees. You heard that beeping, right? We were way too low. Fly over the airport, 83%. Integrate traffic pattern 60. I'll take that. My traffic pattern is terrible. 96% complete base leg. Love that. 71% leg or land is very generous. Let's take that exam, right? It's one of those things where, you know, we're going to tell Captain Jess, like, oh, we're not going to do the first solo flight. I feel like we're ready. And she'd be like, oh, we'll come back anytime. And then she'd walk away to her colleagues and be like, thank goodness. Captain Jess, that's probably the most stressed she ever is when she goes to teach us how to land a plane. Oh my, we almost crashed that. We almost crashed again right into the tree. I cut the power way too much. I think we're ready for the exam, though. Based on your training grades, I think you're ready. See, Captain Jess is like, just take that test, Ryan. Get out of here. You take that test. You're ready. Trust me. So here we go. Let's purchase the fee for the exam. Why wouldn't it let... Is there... What is going on? What? I just want to... What is happening? What? Excuse me? I would like to purchase the Excel. Thank you very much. I know this game has a lot of problems. I'm experiencing many besides skill issue problems, but I don't know why it won't let me click the button. So there we go. Okay, Captain Jess wanted us to come back for that solo flight. Okay, airplane commercial pilot license. This is the real deal. This is when Gamer Ability Airlines officially starts. And of course they give us another route that's not the route we just did. This is the last step before becoming a professional pilot. This is when we actually get paid. When Gamer Ability Airlines starts. David, Paul, and Jordan will be forever remembered as the first brave clients to fly with Ryan for the first time. Brave clients. They survived though. They survived the flight with Ryan Gamer. Here we go. To receive your commercial pilot's license, you will have to complete a new check ride consisting of a cross-country flight between Van Nuys and Bob Hope airports in Los Angeles County. If you need further information, today's flight plan between KBNY and KBUR has already been loaded into your aircraft's glass cockpit. Proper ATC interactions are expected to be performed throughout the flight. That's what we do. It's simple. We take off, we turn left, we go in a straight line, and we land. We don't have to enter a traffic pattern. This might be the most simple flight ever, everybody. There are no simple flights. Okay. Come on. Let's get real serious. I got real serious for that landing, and we almost got real serious into some trees. This is every private pilot license pilot's dream. To be able to take the test to get your commercial pilot license. This is the real deal. Gamer Ability Airlines starts today, and it's all on success right now. Let's go through the check. Let's focus up. Prove Captain Jess that we don't always almost crash the plane. Poor Captain Jess. She probably has nightmares about flying with Ryan. Okay. And startup procedure, let's, should we go through it ourselves or should we just hit the button? I mean, we know how to do it. We've done it 1,000 times. But let's just hit the button. And we just got to trust they do it right, though.
Welcome to your CPL check ride, the last stop on your way to become a true professional pilot. For this check ride, you will complete a cross-country flight through Los Angeles County, taking off from Van Nuys Airport and then landing at Bob Hope Airport. You can start when you are ready.
Request taxi clearance and release the parking brake.
Van Nuys ground Cessna November 25149er with Oscar request taxi to the active departure to the east.
Cessna November 25149er taxi to and hold short of runway 16, right using taxiway Alpha 1 Charlie. Contact tower on 120.2 when ready.
Okay, where are we going?
Taxiing
Acknowledge
short
taxi
runway
clearance.
16, right
Oh,
by
that's simple.
taxiway Alpha 1 Charlie Cessna 149er.
This is, compared to what we had to do at Key West, this is just simple taxiing right here. Some might say that in our first private pilot license Excel, the taxiing after that landing should have been simple. And I don't know what happened. I think well, I know what I did. I hit the throttle instead of brake. Good news is we didn't run into any engineers, so. Yeah, this is my type of airport. Los Angeles County, they said? Locking in. Announce request takeoff clearance.
Van Nuys Tower Cessna November 25149er ready at runway 16 right departure to the east.
Cessna November 25149er altimeter, 29.902, east departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 16 right.
Okay, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for
Acknowledge takeoff
runway
clearance.
16 right Cessna 149er.
Enter runway. This is it. Now, this should be a simple flight. We've had a lot more dangerous flights. Key West. Okay. We get graded on everything. Oh, wrong way. Why do we always end up going the other direction? It's fine. 55 knots, go up. Go up! Climb to 1,500 feet is the next step. Who's our instructor? Not Captain Jess Molina. And we have our log there to the right. I guess we could start our time for fun.
Cessna 149er continue for east departure.
Or not.
Van Nuys
Acknowledge.
Tower Cessna, November 25149er continue for east departure.
I was trying to start the stopwatch, but clearly we're just gonna fly blind. Wait, what is that? Who didn't put the oil pump on? What are you all doing? Who didn't put the oil pump on? That's what happens when you skip steps. Good thing I know that from my checklist training to know what the O means. I think that's what that means. I don't really know. I have no clue. I just saw an O and checked the fuel pump and just pushed the button. So, okay. Long final. Wait, we're only going 1.92 nautical miles. Okay. This is intense. We got to get to 1900. Okay, and then now we need to settle down and we need to lower the throttle because this thing's going to be going down quick. Like real quick. I mean, we are landing just as soon as we're taking off. I like to have a little more time to prep. Did that button really solve that? Did I really hit the right button? I feel like I've done that before and just click and I don't know. Final entry already. Where's the airport? Wait. Oh, we got... Okay. Never mind. They really take it easy on you.
Cessna 149er, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Van Nuys Tower Cessna, November 25149er frequency change.
Arrival airport. Contact. Announce full
Burbank
stop
Tower
landing.
Cessna, November 25149er is 4 miles west 1,800 feet with India to land.
I tell you,
Cessna November 25149er Burbank Tower. Altimeter 29.902, fly straight in runway 8.
this game is the real deal.
Fly
Like-
straight in runway 8 Cessna 149er.
Cessna 149er follow the Cessna Skyhawk on final. Wind 258 at 6. Clear to land runway 8.
That's a lot of words. Acknowledge, clear to land.
Cleared to land runway 8 Cessna 149er.
Here we go again, dropping the throttle too quick, right? I only dropped it to 40. This is coming at us fast, and we can't put our flaps down yet because they kept getting mad at me by breaking the speed limit at Key West, right? So I think we can do 10 degrees flaps. We're going in way too quick. Mayday. We're going in way too fast. Settle down. Oh no. Oh no. Can we put flaps up to 20 yet? No. Let's just drop throttle to 0. This is not good. Is that where we're landing? Yeah, I think so. Flaps up to 20. We're going way too fast. I know, but listen. I'm just trying not to crash the plane.
Cessna 149er, turn next taxiway.
I tried to stop. Are we like on the road right now? Are we on a runway? Is that? Okay, that is a runway. Oh, that's another runway. Oh. It is a good thing we stopped. I believe that's another runway. Okay, so how do we turn around? Oh no. Don't I have an ask for pushback? You allowed to push back in this?
Cessna 149er,
Wait.
turn next taxiway.
Thank you. It's like they knew. It's like this guy has no clue what he's doing. Let's just make it easy for him. Thank you. Now, dangerous landing, going in way too hot, good recovery. I didn't care about the aviation rules. That's how we landed that plane. I was going too fast with 2 flaps down, and they were yelling at me. But what are you going to do? Acknowledge handoff.
Going to 123.9er Cessna 149er.
Request taxi to parking
Burbank ground
clearance.
Cessna November 25149er, taxi to parking.
This game is the real deal.
November 25149er, taxi to general aviation, parking via taxiway Delta Bravo.
This is the real deal.
Taxiing to general aviation, parking via taxiway Delta Bravo Cessna 149er.
We're not done yet. My worst grade in flight school, believe it or not, was taxiing, not landing. What, you all can make your predictions. What grade? I'm actually really interested. I feel like the flight was great, but I feel like the landing could have been better. I feel like the landing was a solid B-. I really do feel like it's a solid B-, but I feel like some people would be a little bit harsher on that score, including Captain Jess Molina, but Captain Jess Molina is not here. She's our instructor, not the person deciding whether we get our commercial pilot license. Now, let's not crash the plane here. Okay, hit the brake instead of the gas. X, not A. And don't hit an engineer. That is the smoothest taxiing I've ever done. Set parking brake. We did it! Wait! Set the brake! Burn down the plane. We did it!
You
Gamer
performed
Beauty
great
Airlines!
today. Keep the same attitude, and I'm sure that you will have great piloting career.
Thank you! Yes! Another A! Wait, landing was not a category! Yes. Landing was not a specific category. You know what was involved? We got an A. That's 2 flight exams that we've aced. Now, we failed the first attempt of the first private pilot license, but here the commercial pilot license, that was great. We have to give a lot of credit to Captain Jess Molina. She did a great job training, even though I didn't use anything that she taught us, like navigate, because it was just such a simple flight. You love to see it. But respect cruise out attitude 100%. Respect the flight plan 93%. Respect the taxi pad 100%. We're going to send that to Captain Jess, and then plane handling 95. What about landing? Clearly they don't care. That's what I'm about. We could be a commercial pilot. Gamer Ability Airlines has officially started now because we can get paid to fly. Yes. Congratulations, certification, commercial pilot license, airplane passed. Allows you to fly an airplane for financial compensation. We love that. And embark on your journey as a professional pilot across a wide variety of activities. So,
Congratulations. Now you are able to earn money for completing missions.
good. We only have 500 credits, which means if we crash the plane, we're done. Now, wasn't there a thing that we could fly other people's planes? I remember reading that in the ferry flight. So let's fly other people's planes, right? You know, if we crash it, it's not ideal for our reputation, but we don't lose our plane. So we can get all these different licenses too and trainings. So my guess is you're going to have school for each one. You're going to have like training, which is really cool. I love the way they set up this career mode. So now let's see what we can do. So we can only do ferry flight. We are how are we close to level 5? Not really. But we might get there. Honestly, if we do one long flight, because the next, if we take like a long flight, oh, please don't put us back in the Key West. New specialization available. Don't put us back in the Key West, please. Oh,
You're ready to take the next step. I have a mission lined up for you. Prove you can handle this, and more opportunities will come your way.
so you're telling me we can go to another country? Oh my. It just got real, everybody. It just got real. Where are we? Where is this? Amsterdam's right up there. London's over here. This is Frankfurt. And Paris is close. You all know where this is? Saarbrücken is there. Anybody know Luxembourg? Treves? No clue where we are. Let's see. Returning a 172 Skyhawk to a home base in Nijmegen Drone. I'm probably not saying that correctly. It's a 20-minute flight. Not bad. So that's our first flight for Gamer Ability Airlines. We may do multiple flights in the next episode. This one's a short one, 20 minutes, but it actually probably will be a long one because you're probably, how far are we flying? Not very far, honestly. Not very far at all. But we get to move around the world now, everybody. We've made it. Gamer Ability Airlines is now Gamer Ability International. We only have one pilot and one plane, so we got a long way to go. But exciting things coming here. Now, what's everybody's prediction? How long will it be till we crash our first plane? I hope it's not any... If we crash one, I hope it's not ours. Like, no, you know, like, I know that's... That sounds terrible for the Gamer Ability Airlines. Like, you know, as long as we don't crash our own planes. What I mean by that is, if we crash someone else's plane, it's not the end of our career mode. Technically, if we crash our plane, we have to gain money back. We'll have to do a bunch of ferry flights of other planes to gain that money back. But our reputation is going to be low. We have a C reputation right now. So, you crash that plane, I don't think it's going to be a C. So we will be doing full flights here. So I do want to point out, the next episodes, there's going to be some parts that are not the most exciting. You know, we're going to be navigating and flying through just everywhere. So, you know, it's not, they're not going to be the sightseeing ones anymore. We may do a couple of those in the future. We probably will do some more first flights. Just you know, to do things for the community. You know, everybody wants a free first flight. We'll still do that. You know. What if David wants another ride to see how far Ryan Gamer has went in his aviation career and wants to ride another roller coaster? Poor David. David's never gonna get in a plane a day in his life. And Paul, now I will say, Paul and Jordan, they may fly again because they had a pretty good experience. Now the landing was a bit rough. The landing, and well, we did go off. Taxing was interesting, but that's to blame the Key West Flight Club and David Lord, the flight coordinator there. I don't know what they're running over there in that flight club, but they clearly do not know what's going on. Engineers walking in front of the plane, a car driving down the middle of the runway. You have to go down to the end of the runway and you have to make a U-turn, and there's no room to make a U-turn. So I panicked and moved off onto the beach and did a good job turning around. Somehow did not wreck the plane, and we got onto the track and did our flight into the Florida Keys. Yeah, that was something. What a great series this has been, though. This has been a lot of fun. Now, there is going to be, like, the next little bit, there's going to be some time, of course, like, there's going to be long flights. Like, when I say long flights, we're talking, like, 20 minutes of downtime where you're just flying in a straight line. I don't know about a straight line. I never drive in a straight line or fly in a straight line. But, yeah, because it's going to take some time to unlock the flight seeing. We may get there. Discover iconic landmarks. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun, actually. That's going to be great, flight seeing. And then skydive aviation is going to be really cool, especially if we can let our co-pilot fly and we can jump out of the plane as well. Cargo transport light, we can do that. We need level 10. Oh, look. So to unlock these, to unlock skydive aviation, we have to have 2 out of 5 airplane missions with C or above, and airplane missions with landing smoothness above 53. Oh, landing smoothness must be important for ferry flights. It makes sense. Okay, good to know. What about flight seeing? Do we need anything else, or do we just no, we just need level 5 and we're almost there. We need another plane. I know we don't have any money right now. And then we still got helicopters as well. We have not done any helicopter stuff. I mean, I barely know how to fly a plane at this point, so let's not get too carried away with helicopter flights, but we're going to be doing it all. Like, I am hooked into this career mode. I don't know how long it will continue. It depends on how much you all are liking it, and obviously how much I'm liking it. Like, if I get bored of the game, obviously I'll stop it, but I'm not bored right now at all. I'm really enjoying the game. And yeah, I know they do have definitely some things to work out in this game. The game's having a lot of problems as far as like in the cloud. So everything's in the cloud, and depending on your internet connection, it can be really tough to play this game. And even with good internet connections, there's still some problems. So, but hopefully they work through those quick. I feel like I'm just surprised they went with all in the cloud and not download anything, because I feel like, you know, you have stuff in the cloud but still have a lot of the terrain and stuff downloaded so that load times are not as long. Because load times, if you have not played this game, load times are really long in this game, like really long. And to open this game, it usually takes about 10 or 15 minutes of loading everything to get into the game. So like it is definitely right now, it could just be server overload, but that's the thing about having everything in the cloud. Now when I'm out there flying, the game feels really good when I'm out in the air when the game is loaded in. Now we did have some issues obviously at the Key West Flight Club, but yeah, I don't know if that was just is that really how that airport's set up? I mean, I don't know, that would be a nightmare to land in. But yeah, I never want to land back there. Maybe we'll revisit Key West again just for entertainment and try to redeem ourselves from that taxing problem. But wow, this has been a blast. If y'all got some enjoyment, be sure to drop a like before you go. It really helps the channel. Subscribe for more. There is plenty more gaming content you can tune into here on Gamerability 2. I've done a lot of different game playthrough series. I do a lot of playthroughs here. So story games a lot of the times, Last of Us Part 2. I played through Stellar Blade, Starfield, God of War Ragnarok. I've done a lot of different playthroughs here on the channel and more to come in the future along with this playthrough as well. I will see you on the next one. Even more content on my main channel, Gamerability. Link in the description to that if you want a lot of sports game content. But as always, have a fantastic day, everybody.